So now again, let's go back to in last session we discussed about how to insert and create, how to create tables and how to insert the data, and also how to take the backup tables on the fly, and few other queries related to SQL Server select and inserts. Okay, today we are going to see somewhat advanced concepts. First, let's start with how to select the data again. I need to see what data that is present in the table employee backup. You can see the query that is available here. Select star from the table name will fetch the data for you. So let me execute it. And you can see there are something around 10,48,576 records, and I have only 4 distinct records. You can see only these 4 are getting repeated again and again and again. Why? Because I intentionally duplicated the data in this particular table by inserting the same data, pulling from the same table to same table. Okay, now let's see, let me rename this as how to select distinct data. I don't want to see the duplicates. Duplicate in the sense, this row, if you see the values, the complete row is getting duplicated here and also here. You can see the values of the first column, second column and the third column is exactly matching if you compare to this part. You can see the same value repeated here and same name repeated here and same city repeated. So the complete row is getting duplicated. Now let's see how to eliminate the duplicates in the rows. So for eliminating the duplicates and to take the distinct records, distinct means by eliminating the duplicates, we have a keyword called distinct. Let's see how to write the syntax. Select distinct, either star or columns. You can specify whatever you want, any one thing. If you select star, it will retrieve the complete result set, like complete table with all the columns. Or if you want to restrict the result set with only 1 or 2 columns, you can specify the column list with comma separator from table name. So let's try to implement the same in the query. I'm going to take this query as I don't need it there. I'm going with star, that means all columns. I'm adding distinct. You can see select distinct. I'm taking star from table name. Now if I execute this, it is going through all the 10 lakh records that are available and it will fetch only the distinct data that is available in a table. Okay, this is how you can apply the distinct keyword to filter the data. To retrieve only distinct records from the table. Now let's try to implement the same with some list of columns. Let's say ID. If you want to get only distinct records of employee ID and employee name, you have to specify the column list with comma separator after the distinct keyword. If you execute this, it will get the distinct employee ID and employee name that are available in the table. This doesn't give proper, you don't feel much difference between writing the distinct star and distinct employee ID and employee name. Let me show you one more example. For that, I need a table. What I'm going to do here is I'm taking distinct record star into a new table. I've shown you in last session how to take the backup. Okay, the same thing I'm gonna do, but with applying distinct keyword. So I'm gonna get only distinct star into, what is the table name I want to give here, and let me give employee distinct. Okay, from employee backup table. So what it is going to do is, this is again the hybrid query of insert statement and select statement, it is gonna get distinct records from this employee backup table and create a structure with the as same as employee backup with the name employee distinct and insert all the records into this new table. You can see 4 records inserted into the new table. Let me see whether it is inserted properly or not. Select star from the table name. You can see all the 4 records are available. Now what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna insert one more record. Insert into employee distinct values. If you observe, I'm gonna give ID as 1, name as Rupesh Babu, which is already available, comma, city as Hyderabad. So this Rupesh Babu, this employee belongs to Hyderabad. Okay, I'm inserting this record. This record is inserted. Now let me see what data that is available in this particular table. You can see there are two employees with the name Rupesh Babu and employee ID 1, but the cities are different. Now what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna execute the same 2 queries what I've shown with a distinct keyword here. You have 2 queries, right, with applying distinct on star and distinct on employee column names. I'm going to implement the same here. Select distinct star from table name employee underscore distinct. So what it is going to return? How many distinct records are available? If you see, this distinct record will not filter these 2 and it won't result only 1 row. Why? Because the value is differing. Whenever you apply distinct on star, then it will check for the complete row, whether this complete row is matching anywhere else. If it is matching, then it is not gonna return. It will return only 1 record instead of many duplicate records. In the same way, it will check for this row, 1 Rupesh Babu and city is Hyderabad. It is nowhere available. In the same way, 2 Lokesh Babu and Hyderabad. This combination is not available. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to write the distinct statement on some specified columns, not on all the columns. Employee underscore ID, comma, employee underscore name from employee underscore distinct table. If I execute this, I'm not gonna get 5 records. Instead of that, I'm gonna get only 4 records. Why? Because this is the only result set I'm expecting. I'm expecting only employee ID and employee name, and it will check for the distinct value in these particular 2 columns. It won't check for all the columns that are present in the database. So it will check for only those columns that are part of the select statement. So I have 2 columns, and these 2 columns, there are 2 records with Rupesh Babu 1 and employee name 1 and Rupesh Babu, employee ID 1 and name is Rupesh Babu. So it filtered 1 and it returned the other record. So this is how the distinct works. If you apply on any particular number of columns, then it will check the distinct rows in that particular list of columns and it returns the result set. In the same way, if you apply distinct on star, then it will check the complete row of all the columns and find out whether there is any duplicates or not. If duplicates, it will not return the duplicate part. This is how the distinct query works. This is how the distinct works. Now let's see how to filter the condition. Yesterday we were discussing about where condition, right? We used it in update statements. Now let's see a bit more about where condition. What all we can do using where condition, and what is the speciality, why it is more important to know about where condition. It plays a major role. Where condition plays a major role in any database. Now let's see what is the advantages and what is that much, why that much importance for this where condition. So I'm gonna show you how to filter the records. If you see a simple select statement, select star from employee underscore distinct, it will return all the rows that are present in the table. If you want to filter the columns, what you can do? Instead of specifying the star, you can specify the column names. What are all the columns you want to see as part of the result set? Then you can specify that set and execute the select statement. Now this is how you can filter the columns. Now let's see how to filter the rows. One way to filter the rows is using where condition. If you see here, this is how you can filter the columns, as I said earlier. Now let's see how to filter the rows. If you don't want to show all these rows, then one way is using where condition. Where condition plays a major role. Whatever the query you write in your real-time projects, you will use where condition. Why? Because you have to, in most of the cases, you need to filter the rows, filter the data that it is fetching. Okay, and this where condition is used to limit the number of rows that it is returning, that the server is returning. Let's see how to what is the syntax of the where condition and how to execute the same. I'll name it as columns, and I will name this one as where condition to filter rows, or in other words, records. Now we are going to discuss about where condition, and how we are going to discuss about how it limits the records that is going to display in the result set. First, let me take a simple query. Select star from employee distinct, that is the latest one I have created. This has 5 records. Okay. Now I'm going to write a syntax to show how this where condition works and how you can filter the data. Select star from table name. You can provide either star or the column list. I don't need to repeat it again and again. Wherever you are giving star, you can provide the column list. It is not mandatory that you have to go for all the columns every time. Where after the table name, you have to add this where part, where condition, like a column name is equal to some text. Okay, or some value. I will call it as value rather than text. It may be integer value too, right? So I'll name it as value. Okay, this is the where condition syntax. This is the basic where condition syntax. So let's implement a query. Select star from employee underscore distinct, where I want to filter where employee ID is equal to 1. Who are all the employees with the ID 1? So here I have to specify the column name, where employee ID is equal to 1. That's it. It is just like our normal English. I want to filter the records. What is the condition? Employee ID should be 1. So I'm giving the same, where employee ID is equal to 1. If I execute this part, it filters the data first of all, and then it returns the records with employee ID 1. Now let me show where employee ID is equal to 4, or let's say 10. I think it is not available. Let me see what will happen. Let me show what will happen if I execute this query. As there is no records with the employee ID 10, it will return the empty result set. So where condition may return the results, may not return the results, may return the complete result set, like that. How to see? This one is limiting and showing only 2 records. This one is limiting and not showing any records. Why? Because there is no employee ID 10 in my database table. Now let's see how to filter the data based on a string column. This is an integer column. That's why I've simply specified is equal to 10 and it is returning the data. Now let's see how to filter the data based on a string column using where condition. Select star from employee distinct where employee name is a string column is equal to, it is just simple as writing where condition for an integer column, but the string value you have to pass in double quotes. So what value I'm gonna pass here is, I'm gonna give Rupesh Babu. Let's see how many records it is gonna fetch. So it is returning me 2 records, and the employee name of these two the records that it is fetching is the one what I have passed in the where condition. So this is how you can filter on one column. Now what I've done here, I filtered based on one column, that is employee ID. Here also I filtered the table based on one column, that is employee ID. Here too by using employee name. Now let's try filtering the data using 2 columns. How I can add the condition for 2 columns. If my requirement is the employee ID should be 1 and the city should be Hyderabad, how many records are there? Let me show how to write the query. Employee distinct where, what is the first condition? The first condition I want to go for is employee ID should be 1 and also, so I'm giving an AND keyword to add 2 columns in the condition. Employee ID should be 1 and employee city should be, this is a string value and that's why I'm keeping in the single quotes. The city should be Hyderabad. How many records it is gonna return? It is not gonna return any record. Why? Because I have given the name, I have not spelled the name properly. Hyderabad it is. Now if I execute this, you are getting 1 record, even though there are 2 employees with an ID 1 and name Rupesh Babu, but the condition I have given here is where employee ID is equal to 1, this is valid, and employee city is equal to Hyderabad, this is valid. Now let me go for the other guy, that is the person who is staying in Bangalore. The employee ID should be 1 and the city should be Bangalore. So this is how the AND condition works. You can give AND just like that, how many, and you can add for the other column like employee name. If I give, I'm giving employee name too, but here I'm passing Rupesh, just Rupesh. So this is not a valid, it is not gonna return any records. Why? Because the where condition will be evaluated to 0 records. Why? Because there is no guy with employee ID 1, employee city Bangalore and employee name Rupesh, but there is a guy with employee ID 1, employee city Bangalore and name is equal to Rupesh Babu. So this is how you can continue adding so many columns into the where condition. Instead of sticking to 1 column, you can go for more than 1 column in the where condition. Now let me go back to this query and I'm pasting it. This is here the condition is employee ID should be 1 and also employee city should be Hyderabad. This and that, the condition 1 and this is called condition 1 and this is condition 2, both should be evaluated to true. That's why this and. If anyone is successful, anyone is true, then if you want to fetch the record, then you have to go for or. Either this or this condition is successful, then get me the record. If I execute this, I'm getting 3 records. If you see the first one, okay, employee ID is 1, so this is success, so it is getting this record. And employee ID 1, this is success, but city is Bangalore, it is failed, but I've given OR condition. Either this is success or this is success, get the data. In the same way here, employee ID is not equal to 1, but still city is Hyderabad. So this is how we can use OR condition. Whenever, I mean, it depends on your requirements. Whenever you want to filter with a condition like this should be successful and also that should be successful, then you go for AND condition. And whenever the requirement is like either one of the conditions is true or either one of the conditions among the three given is true, then you can go for OR condition. In the same way, you can have one more condition. Employee name is equal to Vinay Kumar. So now I have three different conditions and each one is concatenated with a OR keyword. The third one is employee ID is not successful, employee city is not in Hyderabad, but the name is Vinay Kumar. So it is fetching that part. So this is how you can use where condition to filter the number of records, to filter the records in the table. And this is how you can use AND keyword and OR keyword to join two conditions in the where condition. In last session we have seen how to insert null records. That is the data you are seeing here. You have null records here, right? You know how to insert null record. There are two ways you can do: directly pass the null value or don't specify the column in the list. I'll show you the same queries once again. I have it somewhere here. Here it is. If you pass directly null, that one will place null in the particular column. In the same way, if you don't specify all the columns in the list next to the table, then that means you are telling the server, I have only employee ID and employee name in this case, and I don't have the employee city. You place null in the place of employee city. Okay, this is how you can place the you can insert the nulls into the table, and there are so many ways in doing that. These are the two basic ways which you can use to insert the null values. Now let's see how to insert blank. Okay, inserting blank records and null records. Okay, let's see that now. What I'm gonna do here is, first I want to see what is the data that is present in the table. Select star from employee underscore distinct, and you can see it has 5 records in which 2 employee city is null and remaining things are having proper, and these 2 are duplicated. This is the data I have. Now what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna insert a null record, a null column for the employee city. So how to do that? Sorry, not null. I'm gonna insert blank. Insert into employee underscore distinct values. What is the employee name? It is 5, and employee ID is 5. Employee name is, let's say, Prasad Babu, and employee city, my intention is to insert blank value. So to insert a blank value, you just need to simply give the single quotes. If you give single quotes, it will take the blank value. If I execute this, a record is inserted successfully, and if I go and execute it here, the select statement, you can see there is a blank value. It is not null. This null is different than this blank value. And now I'm gonna do one more insert with the name money. The ID is 6. Instead of blank, I'm passing null, the value null. Okay, I'm not passing the null value. This is a string null, not null value. Okay, let me show you the difference between null value and string null. I'm inserting this record too. Now let me show you what are the records that are present in the table. You have two nulls and one null value and three cities and one blank value. Why I have done this now at this point of time is to show how to filter the data when the value is blank, when the value is null, and when the value is this null. Okay, let me show you the difference. Back to while condition. So first, my intention is to filter the blank records. Before going to this where condition, let me explain one more scenario, that is injecting space. That means if you click on space bar, the space is injected here. I am giving the ID as 7 and the name as Shaker. Okay, this is neither null nor blank, this is a space. I am inserting a space. So I executed this and you can see the same here. This looks like these two are looking same and these two are similar, right? To look. Now let me show you how to filter all these things. Here I have a select statement. I'm writing a select statement with where condition to filter this blank first. Let me show you how to filter the blank records. So for that, select star from table name employee distinct where employee city is equal to, there is no value to give, so that is blank. So if I pass string, if I give only single quotes, that means it will take the blank values and it returns the data. Okay, I have two blanks, one is this one and the other one is space. Earlier it was not taking the space, it was considering space as a different, the earlier versions of SQL Server, it was taking space as a space, but here it is truncating and it is checking whether the value is blank or not. If the value is blank, it will return the record. Now let's see how to filter the string part. NULL string, this is a string, this is not the keyword null. So for filtering the string, select star from employee distinct where employee city is equal to, this is string, this is not a null keyword, and hence you can directly pass the value just like you are passing the value of Hyderabad or Bangalore. So what you have to pass, you have to pass the null. This is what you have inserted into the table, so it is returning the null string. And if you observe, you are getting only one null record. That means this is not the keyword null, this is the string null, the one which I have given in the single quotes. Now let me show you how to filter the null keyword, NULL null keyword. Select star from table name where city employee underscore city is equal to null. This is the keyword, and if you see, it turns to gray color. Okay, this is not the way to filter the null records. This is not the way to filter the keyword null. This won't accept the key. This won't accept the operator equal to. If you give employee city is equal to null, it won't accept and it won't return anything. This is the wrong way. So the correct way of filtering the null records is using the keyword is. Whenever you want to filter the null keywords from the database, then you have to go from any column, then you have to go, you have to add the where condition, like where column name is null, not equal to null. You have to remember this is very important, and you will use it very frequently. And you can see this has written 2 null records. So this is how you can filter the blanks, you can filter the spaces if there is anything, or you can filter the null keyword from null keywords from any column. So this is about the where condition, different things we can add in the where condition, and you can have n number of conditions in one single where. Condition 1 and condition 2 and condition 3 and condition 4, like that you can add n number of conditions to filter the data in the table. It is all depends on your requirement. Now let me order the data in the table. Select star from employee underscore distinct. This is a table, okay, where you have some 8 records, and these are not in order. If you see, the employee ID is not in order, and employee name is not in order, employee city is not in order. So order means when you talk about integer column, this is an integer column. When you talk about integer column, it should be in the order like 1 2 3 4 5 6 and so on. And name column means it should be in alphabetical, just like in the dictionary. The first one that should come here is Lokesh Babu. Why? Because L comes first in the alphabetical order, and then money, and then whatever it comes. PQR, Prasad Babu should come next, and Rupesh should come next, and then Vinay Kumar and Venki Kumar. This is how the order will be. So now let's see how to order the data. First, let me add the syntax. Select star from table name, order by columns list. So whatever the columns you want, you can add it here. Let me implement the same. Select star from employee underscore distinct, order by. I want to order the result set based on employee underscore ID. So I'm asking the server to get all the records from the table employee distinct and order it based on employee ID. You can see the column is ordered and the result set is also ordered. If you don't specify anything next to, after this in syntax, actually you will get ascending or descending. Okay, that means how you want to order. You want to show in ascending order or in descending order. If you don't specify anything next to the column in the order by, then it will take ascending as default. If you want to explicitly specify the same, then you can do like this. After the column name, specify it as ascending. How to do it in descending order? Simply change it to descending. Now you can see the employee ID is ordered in descending order. You can set the next one too. Employee ID and employee name should be in descending order. I have not given this name properly. If you see, first this one is in ascending and that one is in descending. Let me go for descending of this one too. Now this is the descending order first, and then this is the descending order. Okay, you will not find any difference. Why? Because there is no two IDs similar with different names. If you have different names, then you can get it. Let me insert one record to show you the example. Insert into employee underscore distinct values. I'm inserting the record 1 just like this, and I'm trying to get the name, what name you want, which is not which will not come after Rupesh in the alphabetical order. Tell me some name with H. Let's say it is Hari, and city is Bihar. Okay, I inserted a record now. Let me execute the same query, and you can see I've given this one as descending order. So first this one will be descending. This one will be ordered in descending, and the second descending will be set in the descending. There is only one value for 6, so no issues. The value for 1 is, I have 3 values. Now these 3 should be ordered in the descending way as per the query. If I specify it as ascending, it acts in the different way. You can see in these things Harish came first, then Rupesh Babu when I give it as ascending. This column is ordered in descending order, but this column is ordered in ascending order. So this is how you can specify more than one columns and its order. Okay. This is how you can use insert and this is how you can use order by based on one column or more than one column. Here I have given 2 columns. The first one is as descending, so everything is in descending order. And then the secondly, when the second column comes into picture, if there is only single record for the first column value, then no problem will come. When the problem will come, the ordering you can see only when you have more than one record, one same record for the first column you specified in the order by. Here you have 3, and the second one you have set as ascending, so this is in ascending order, and this column is in descending order. Okay, this is fine. This is about where condition and how you can add more than one condition in the where and how you can order the data. Now let's go back and see a couple of queries how to update by using the where condition. Now you are familiar with the where condition, and let's see how to update the records. Back to update records. So what I'm gonna do here is, I don't want to have nulls here. Instead of nulls, I want to replace it with some value, let's say not applicable or don't know or not known, any one of these. Instead of null, you want to update the value cells with or column values with not applicable value. Let's see how to do that. Update employee underscore distinct is the table I know, and I don't want to set what I want to update. Before going to that, I want to add the where condition. What is the filter path? What are all the rows you want to update? Where employee city is null. You still remember, I guess you have to use is null. Now I'm gonna set what I want to update. I want to update employee city with the value not applicable. Okay. Now the query, what I'm executing here is, I'm asking the server to update the table, update the column employee city of the table with the value not applicable where employee city is null. I have only 2 rows with the employee city is null, that is employee ID 3 and 4, that is Vinay Kumar and Venki Kumar, and the same will be updated with not applicable value after executing this statement. You can see 2 rows affected. And now let's execute the query. Select star from employee underscore distinct, and you can see this has become not applicable. It has updated with not applicable. So whatever I have used in the where condition to filter the records, whenever here in the select statements, the similar way you have to give where condition to update the records. It all depends on your requirement. What are records you have to update. If you want to update the records where the employee city is null, then you have to specify like this. Now let me do the same, but not for city is null. But when the case city is equal to string null. So in that case, this is the string I have, and I have only one record with the string value null. And if I execute this, you can see one row affected. And if you execute this part select statement, you can see a new record with not applicable. This is how you can update string value null or any string value. You can, even if you can pass, if you want to pass Hyderabad, if you want to update the records where the city is equal to Hyderabad with the value simple and short code, that is Hyderabad, HYD. Now it will go and search for all the records with the city name Hyderabad, and it will be updated with the value HYD. And you can see the same. There are two such rows. One is for Rupesh Babu and another one is for Lokesh Babu, and these two got updated. Now let's see how to update the records when the value is null. So value is blank. It is as simple as this, just like you have done in select statement using where condition. You have to give where employee city is equal to null, and here if you want to pass something like TPT, if I don't know the value, I want to update it with TPT, you can just simply do that. You can see two rows affected, and the same you can see in the result set by executing the query. So this is how you can use, with the help of where condition and update. In the update queries, you can update the records that you wish to instead of updating all the records. For example, if I missed this part, if I missed this where condition, and if I have not specified that where condition, then this one will become a disaster. All the records will get updated. And let me show you the same here. Select star from employee underscore distinct. If you execute this, you can see everything is updated with the value that I have passed, that is not applicable. So this is the problem. So whenever you are executing, whenever you are writing or triggering any update statement, be careful. Make sure that you have written the proper where condition. If it is not there, then it will be updated with the value that you passed. The complete column will be updated. Then it will be a big issue to get the data back if you don't have proper backup. Okay. Now let's see how to delete. How can I delete records? How can I delete records from a table? Here also you can use the where condition. You can take the help of where condition. If you pass, the syntax is like this: delete table name. If you pass this, it will delete all the records that are present in the table. And if you add any where condition, this one will restrict the number of records that will be deleted. For example, let me show you a couple of examples here. Delete, sorry, this is not table, my apologies, this is from. Delete from, I'm giving the table name employee distinct. Here I'm adding a where condition. Why? Because I don't want to delete all the records in the first step. I want to show a couple of examples how you can delete the records, some set of records, and then the complete records. Delete from employee underscore distinct, where employee underscore ID is equal to 1. My intention is to delete the records where employee ID is equal to 1. If I execute this, 3 records got deleted. Why? Because I have 3 records with the employee ID 1, and you can see the same here. The 3 records are missing. And if I want to add some condition, I mean more than one condition, that means where employee ID is equal to 1, and employee name is equal to money. Is there any record available with this combination? This condition will be evaluated to false and hence 0 records affected. If you want to make it a successful one, either give the proper employee ID for that or give the where condition. In this case, there is an employee ID with the name money, so one record will be deleted, and if you see the table now, that record will be missing. Why? Because it got deleted. This is how you can add where condition while deleting the records. If you don't specify the where condition, delete from, if you specify just the table name, employee distinct, and if you execute this part, everything will be deleted from the table. You can see it is showing as 5 rows affected and all the records in the table is deleted. You can see the same here. Sorry, this is not employee backup. This is employee distinct, what I'm operating on. You can see there is no data available. So this is how you can delete some set of records or the complete set of records. You can use where condition to limit the number of records that needs to be deleted, and if you don't want to limit, then if you want to delete everything, then you just simply give the write the query like delete from the table name. Now let's see the next pattern. Very similar to delete, there is one more, that is truncating. I prefer truncating. Let's see what is this truncating part. For this I need a couple of tables to demonstrate the same. Select star from employee is one table. Let me see how many records are there. There are 64 records. Select star from employee. Let me see this, how many records are there. There are good number of records in this table, so I will go with the employee table. Okay, there are 10,48,576 records, and I need one more table similar to this, so I think employee backup is the correct one. Let me see how many records are there in this table. Yeah, similar number of records. Now you can use truncate if you want to delete the table completely. If you want to delete all the rows that are present in the table, you cannot add where condition. This is one of the major difference between delete and truncate. Make a note of it. You cannot add where condition to the truncate, whereas you can add where condition to the delete. Let me explain you that better. Truncate table name. Here you cannot add any where condition. Let me show you a couple of differences in this session, and next session we are going to continue the discussion on differences between delete and truncate with more examples. Sorry. First I'm using delete table, delete from employee, which has something around 10,48,000 records. If I execute this, it is executing, and it is taking more time, and it has taken 7 seconds to delete all the records. Now I have similar number of records in the employee backup table. So here I am using truncate. I am truncating, not deleting. The syntax differs. Truncate table, whereas it is delete from table name, and you can add where condition for the delete, and you cannot add where condition for the truncate. So employee backup. Here if you see, truncate is used only when you want to delete the complete set of records. Okay, let me execute this. Executed, and the command immediately completed successfully, and it has taken only fraction of seconds, but it deleted all the records that are present in the table. you can see the output here. So the major differences, we have seen two differences here. One is in delete you can have where condition, whereas in truncate you cannot have where condition. And the second one is delete is damn slow and truncate is super fast. So these are the couple of differences, and in coming sessions we are going to discuss about more differences. Why? Because you are not aware of some of the concepts to talk about all these things at this point of time. So this is how you can delete the table from the delete the data from the table. Now let's see the final part of the session, that is dropping a table. Deleting a table is different from dropping a table. Deleting a table will only delete the data in the table, where dropping the table will drop the table permanently. Let's say we have a table name employee here. You can see that employee name, you can see the table employee, and it has no records, and I don't want this table anymore. I'm not going to use this table anymore. In that case, I don't need to have that table definition in my database. So what I will do is I will drop it. The syntax for that one is drop table name, and let me implement the same drop table employee. If I execute this, after this, if I try to execute this select statement, it will throw an error saying that invalid object name employee. There is no object available with the name employee in this particular database. So this is how you can drop a table. Let me drop the another table. Drop table employee underscore backup, and you can see even this one is successful. I'm gonna drop the other one. Drop table, we have employee table with the data. This one has data too. Even this one is dropped, and finally I'm gonna drop our employee underscore distinct table. So I dropped all the tables. Now none of the table is available in the database. Sorry, this is the table. If you try to select the data from the table, it will throw an error saying that invalid object name. There is no such object available in the database. Why? Because I deleted it. Sorry, I dropped it. If I click on refresh and see what are all the tables that are present, only one table that is present, that is employee underscore backup. Why? Because the remaining tables are dropped. So this is how you can drop a table permanently without keeping the definition in the database server. Okay, and yeah, we're gonna end this session here. We have discussed about a couple of keywords in SQL Server, and how to order the data, and how to add where conditions, and how to have multiple conditions in the where, and how to update the records with where condition, and how to drop and delete the tables, and also truncate. There are so many differences between delete and truncate, and it is the most important interview question, and all those differences we will cover in the future sessions. Thank you.